Hello. Welcome back to Gracefully Fit and Wealthy. We are declaring it. We're not there yet, but every step is getting us closer to that life. This is a bit of a different video from my regular budgeting that I've been posting. This is to kind of take a look back over 2025 as we begin this new year. Take a look back on specifically why I would probably not ever become one of those cash only, even when mm, I'm done paying off my debt. Um, and I kind of wanted to take a look at, is it really worth it to keep using my credit cards, and also in general see how much I have gained through rewards and dividends and all of that versus the fees and interest that I have to pay throughout 2025. So I thought it was a great way to have a visual for that as well. Love Google Sheets, so that's what I'm using to basically break it down. So I looked through all of my paperwork and, well, not paperwork, so really I did it online, but looked through all of my credit cards and all of that to basically put it together. So let's get straight into it because we want to make sure that this remains as quick as possible. So once again, this is to really see what is the why I mostly use cards, because I really like my money where it's gaining some form of interest. And so you guys can leave in the comments what's your preferred method. I know I love to see it when people do it, but I know for me it would just not work because I just yeah. But so far the year of 2025 with my SoFi, I paid a total interest of 1287, and that's because my goal has always been to make sure that I don't I don't carry over a balance. At the beginning of 2025, um, I was not working, I was still in school, and so there were instances where I had to carry over a balance, but I tried to make sure that it was as low as possible. And that's why we see some of them are high because those were the fees, right? So let's continue. So for my Chase, this was one of the ones that was holding, that was just paying off, and so I wasn't using it. Prime, a total of 46.25, Discover 45.53, and so those were my main ones that I was utilizing. But we will see later if the rewards outweighed the interest charge, because that's usually something I look to make sure that even if when the interest uh accumulates, that it's been paid off by the rewards that I'm getting off that card. Um, Reflect was about $2 for the year. Wells Fargo, this was the transfer, because I had some of them that were coming up on the end of the interest free, and I just found it was better to do a balance transfer and pay 227 and then pay it over the year, pay it off, give myself time to pay it off, than to try and pay hundreds of dollars every month over it. In my calculations, it worked best. Um, my Amex card, $12.70 for the year, and SoFi brokerage, those were foreign fees and all of that, um, came up to $15.38. So for a grand total of $763.09 that I paid in interest and fees throughout 2025. Now, let's see the grand total for my rewards. Let's move on to the other side. So for SoFi, even though we had interest charge, $12.87, but total rewards was 36.88. Chase, even though I didn't use the card at the beginning of the year, I think the last 2 months I used it, I still gained 557. Prime, was under as far as fees because I made 53.17 compared to the 45. And Discover, I made it back $80.32 versus the 45. Wells Fargo was at $8. Venture, um, that was a new card that was added this year. Well, last year technically. Um, but so he gave an award of about $200 for opening it. $6.20 for Capital. Quicksilver was $1.83. This was one of the ones I was paying as well. So I didn't accumulate any interest, but I also didn't make any reward because I wasn't using it. Amex was 24.60 as far as reward, and I paid a total of 12.70 in interest for the year. So we stayed under. And then my checking and savings. So my checking was at $4.20 and saving was at 23.22 in total interest paid to me. Synchrony is my where I hold my $1,000 emergency fund. Um, it made a total of $33.96, and my ally is more of my like more immediate things I might need, but I actually never actually dip into this. I think only once towards the end of the year, and that made me a total of $14.38. Now my Vanguard is where I hold my Roth IRA, and that made $571.64 in dividends. That is tax free. Woohoo! Love the IRA, Roth IRA. And then my brokerage for total dividends of $740.24. So for a grand total of 1,856 for the year 2025. This is basically money that I did not have to clock in to make or rewards that I was able to use. So even though I'm using my card still, I feel it's a little bit justified in that I'm able to still make sure that every month that I can use my rewards to pay for the interest that it had accumulated, unless it's a fee that I'm transferring. But the fee I still feel makes sense to me as far as balance transfer because I don't want to be paying hundreds of dollars every month. However, I want to make sure now that I'm out of school, I can make sure that I am paying off those cards so that I'm not having to transfer anything over and just focusing on the rewards that I can get for that year. So this was my 2025. Let me know in the comments what's your preferred way of making sure that you are that you utilize I guess how you pay for things. This is basically why I would probably still be using my credit cards even after this debt payoff journey because I make sure that I paid off every month. So the only ones that are not paid off is on interest free. If the card is not on interest free, best believe I am doing all I can to make sure it's being paid off um every month because I hate it. I don't like accumulating more, paying more for something that than what it's, worth. Um, I'd rather get rewarded for it rather, a discount rather than paying more for it. So that's how I view it in my mind. It might not be the best way, but I found, that's why I wanted to put this together to kind of look at, is it really truly worth it or is it just all in my head? And, I have kept pretty much being able to every month pay off whatever interest I accumulated on that card using my reward points. So let me know again in the comments what's your preferred method and what do you think? And yeah, and I love the cash system. I just don't think particularly for me, it would be that helpful. Just because in my mind, I like to make sure my money is somewhere where it's accumulating interest. But love those, love those videos too. Let me know what you think in the comments. And have you ever taken a look to think to your rewards and all of that? Is it something you're interested in? Let me know what you think. All right. Have a great rest of your day and great year as well. Thank you for joining me. Bye.